My charge today, this afternoon, is to share with you international business strategies. And part of the difficulty for me, well, first of all, let me give you a little bit about me so you understand why I'm going to do the direction I go, okay? I was the mayor of the third largest city. I spent almost 20 years in government. I have taught at the university and the community colleges in Passaic County for over 15 years. I've taught criminal justice, I've taught sociology, and I've taught English. You figured out why I stand up all the time, right? Okay. I've worked for IBM as a programmer, systems programmer. I've worked for the State Department of Education. I've worked in nonprofit. I've even done consulting for nonprofits. And so my background is as varied as, I guess, anybody. But what it's done for me is allowed me to understand that the secrets to success, if you want to call it that, they're not out in the world, they start with you. Every morning you get up, you look in the mirror, you decide that today is the first day of the rest of your days, you will see a lot more accomplished. Why? Because you have to be honest with yourself. So when I'm talking about international business, yes, I am talking about trade with Japan and China. But I'm saying let's start right here. So let's talk about the recipe. You know the recipe for the greatest quiche, the greatest grits, the greatest cake and pie. That recipe that you didn't originate, the one that you acquired because you tasted it and decided, I can copy this. See, that's what business is. It's the copy. Now, your product is original because it came from you. But the marketing of it, the going and translating, the shaking of hands, that's the carbon copy. And each one has a different nuance to it. So if you have a brother by brother I mean the apparatus that does copies, brother has this whole system of copiers. You can get some that are so absolutely fine, pinpoint, I think it's inkjet, you got all those. And then you've got the regular, that you have to question what the images are. Many of us, when we're thinking about business locally, we're doing the image question. And what we're talking about today, ASICD, is about, let's look at that perfect image, that perfect copy. So, I like to do things interactively. I like to know that you hear what I'm saying and that I hear what you're saying. So, show of hands or reach out, speak out. What is international business? Somebody, what is international business? You came here for it. What is it? Anybody? Okay. So that's a great place to start. Is international business simply getting on a plane, getting on a train, getting on a boat, going some foreign place, and now you're in business? Is that it?
Is it to expand? That's the purpose, right?
Maybe. What if international business has nothing to do with what's over there? Because Julie said to us this morning, and she gave us the 3 models, that there is a potential, a greater potential, depending on your model, that if you set it up in advance of, if you set up the opportunity, I think the model she had was this, and she had it like that, and she had distributor at the bottom. I paid attention. But she didn't say she was here. She never said that. She could have been way over here. International business is less about the location where you're physically at. It's more about the mental mindset, the picture, the opportunity, the vehicle, the mechanism, the interaction. That's international business. Are we okay with that so far? Mm-hmm. Okay. And just to make sure that everybody's engaged, would that apply to commercial real estate?
Sure.
Okay, how?
Well, sometimes it's the acquisition of the property, the business, firm, whatever you want.
Okay. Do you have to be there?
No.
What do you mean? You mean you're going to go buy land and build and you're not there?
There are people that you can associate yourself with.
So you're connected.
Yeah.
And you created a network, or there's an established network of trusted confidants and business partners that you have confidence will deliver what you need for your customers.
Absolutely.
While you're still here. While you're still there. Okay. What about if you got a restaurant? If you've got a restaurant over here, or you're here, let's say Ecuador. I'm just going to pick a place out of the air. Let's say we're in Ecuador. Can you do business remotely?
Yes.
Can we? Can you?
Yeah. Still does.
You can. You mean you don't have to physically get on a plane, a train, go someplace? Well, you might have to go once or twice. You might need to go more than that. But the whole notion of business is, international business is, if you create the plan, if the path is clear, if you ruled out all the questions, if you've tested your relationships, you've tested the politics, you've also got to test the monetary system. Because guess what? You can build the best mousetrap and find out that the banking system, the commerce,
Can't get your money out.
and you can't get your money out. And so, in reverse, if we're talking from a restaurant standpoint, and I'm going to use you as an example, is that okay? Okay.
Only if you come to the restaurant.
Oh, if I can got it.
What's the name of the restaurant?
Right. So in this scenario, we're going to look at your situation in reverse order. We're looking at the global market coming to Ecuador. Right? The whole world, we want to see your restaurant. And the question is, how do we do that? What are the likes of the world? What foods do they like? What beach and why is your beach? Is it Ipanema? Is your beach Ipanema? No, it's not. So, but the presentation you want to give through your marketing and understanding is, you better make it so it looks like Ipanema. It better be just as close to Ipanema if, in fact, the marketing that you've done is encouraging people that you're like Ipanema. You just happen to be in Ecuador, just not as busy. It's not this, but it is this, it is that. And then if you're a nonprofit, is it any different than the commercial or the restaurant construct? Can't be. This process, whatever you call it, which you have your rules, which you have to do your assessments, and they've given the trade.gov, network.gov, they've given a list of those. Folks, if that's not your strength, you find somebody who is capable and willing to do that. But then you've got to figure out the method by which you exchange the knowledge. Because one of the things in business you don't want is one of your teams to know more than you know about your business. Because you're going to be out of business. And my task was the introduction to international business. And to make sure that I leave as vivid an image as I possibly can. So you said, he's just funny. He don't know detail. He's not. I got you.
He's funny with details.
Right. I actually went on Google and said, Google, tell me everything I need to know about international business. And Google says, good luck.
Yeah. Gave you too much. Yeah.
But the realities of international businesses, the myth of it is that it's so foreign that I need to gear up like I'm going up the Himalayas. No. You've got to be prepared, yes. But if you've had success in a restaurant, in your nonprofit, in commercial real estate, you've got most of what it takes. I like the psychic distance. It's just all over me. It's like a shower. Just all over me. Yes.
Will you also help people do business development in the aspect of, this gentleman speaks a certain language.
Right.
He is an expert in a certain type of product.
Yes.
The United States is full of Spanish people.
Mm.
You can have a television show and
Mm.
training people.
Girl. Exactly. Exactamundo. That it is about understanding that international business is no different than Mr. Renner is from India and I'm from Patterson. We just created a business opportunity. The details, no. But we have a willingness to figure out what's next. Now, we're going to go through some stuff. You know, it's inevitable. We're going to go for lunch. Wait a minute. Good.
The universal language, settle it over food.
And by the way, absolutely.
Yep.
Because when we talked initially about reaching out, listen. Just like you don't want to be bothered, somebody else doesn't want to be bothered. But don't spend all your time on that. Try to find out in the not being bothered, what is it about what I said, did, or didn't deliver bothers you? And you stick it in the file. Not the recircular file, you stick it in the file of memory. Document it and add it to your process. That's success. There's no other way about it. Matter of fact, one of my favorite people, and I had the pleasure, this is my story, I met the 44th president of the United States. It was because of tragedy. But I met him. 8 hours, I was with the man. Woo! Woo-hoo! 8 hours. And I tell the story that the man was standing there in all his glory, khakis and a checker shirt, and I'm in a suit in the heat of the summer. And as I walked upon him, he turned, check this out, and he says, Mayor Jones, and like a little giddy schoolboy or girl, I said, he knows my name. Guess what, stupid? He's the president of the United States, and he was expecting you. And there was only 2 mayors, the other one was over there already. So guess what?
Process of
The process of Point of the story is, we all going to go through something. We're all going to walk up into some environment. We're all going to look for beyond the horizon, that great opportunity to grow this product. That's good to you because you incubated it. Now you got test cases. Now you got to get people to buy in. And you can't take it personal when they tell you they don't like what you're doing. You tell them, thank you for sharing. And then you figure out, just a little bit, what can I do to retool this thing? Because that's, in this notion, we got the U.S. government, that conversation scares the bejesus out of people. What is it going to do to my business? When we've heard all the stories about pirating, we've heard all the stories about, you've heard them all, you're going to hear more. We're destined to. But are you willing to do the breakthrough? That's the question. Are you willing to do the breakthrough? So when we talk about international business, it is as basic as shaking hands. Yes, it's more complicated. Yes, it requires a lot more understanding. Yes, it requires it. But if that's not your, we call it forte, that's not your skill set, you need to develop that team. And once you develop that team, now you're approaching this sort of conversation with a different set of perspectives and eyes. And don't get like-minded people all the time. Funny, there's a commercial and a movie with a woman has black shoes. And she was upset that everybody didn't appreciate her black shoes. Because in her mind, these shoes were phenomenal. They were black, had a 4-inch heel, stiletto type, had little nice little nuances to it, and she walked in there all sashaying and just thought everybody would go, bam, look at those shoes. Everybody in the place had black shoes. Everybody in the place did the same thing. Went and bought a pair of black shoes that they thought were so unique. And when they put them on their legs and did all that other stuff and started sashaying, that people were just going to jump out and say, ta-da, don't work like that. Now, she accessorized her outfit. The black shoes were just a part of it. The hair was done, makeup, the jewelry, and her attitude is what made people see her. Swag. And so, the attention she got, here's where the problem comes in. The attention she acquired, she thought it was the shoes. Just. Instead, it was the package. So of course people are talking, they're asking about where'd you get this, where'd you get that, and they're now networking, which is really the biggest, most important piece of this whole thing called international business. You got to create a network. And that network starts here. Your team of confidants that you talk to, you work with, that you explore, that you succeed and you fail with. And then you take some risks. Don't stick your head into the oven. Don't do that. Don't stick your head in the oven. Stick to meat, stick to pies. Test it out.
That's the country that need meat.
That's right. Especially if the country doesn't eat meat. That's absolutely right. I want to make sure when people leave this presentation, everything's going to be okay. What can you tell me about international business that I can report and share with everybody else? And it said, good luck. I mean, it gave me a whole lot of stuff. Stuff that anybody can find out. And as I'm doing this search, I go, you know what? Everything I'm reading, I already know. I said, wait a minute, that can't be. You're Google. Google, you're the worldwide everything. I said, you're going to tell me something that I don't know, that I can impart some wisdom. So when people leave here, they go, I got it. And Google said, good luck. Now, it didn't actually say good luck. It just gave me so much information that I was overwhelmed. That's good luck. And then I thought about it. I said, you know what? It is what it is. You've got to be willing to strap risk on your back and take that in. But you can minimize the risk by your research, your reach out, and participation in classes and sessions like this. We good so far?
Yes.
Did I lose anybody? Good. So the next thing, part of my presentation, is the challenges in international business and how to avoid them. Good luck. Good luck. You don't speak the language of the country or origin you want to go to. You don't know the customs. Heck, we got a problem here in the US. We're going to go someplace else and tell them that we have a product that they need. Good luck. Unless you got an ace. That ace is you do some research. And when I use the word research, my master's in urban education. My job was to understand why urban centers don't succeed. And academically, business, so forth and so on. That's my background. My bachelor's in criminal justice. I like to understand why society fails at some things. And then if we find those little frailties, those little emotional breakdowns, we can fix those and then we have a better society. Not gonna happen. So I go, okay, how do you avoid these pitfalls going to international business? You don't. The stories about big, major conglomerates failing very, very seldom get reported. There are always containers on the shores of these countries of businesses that go to waste. There are always billions of dollars that get built and stolen. Just is. But when you're ready, you've got to go and you've got to walk the path you expect your product to go. If you expect your product to go this port, that port, that port, that port, you better get your butt there. Can I say butt and butt? Mixed groups? Okay. Tushy. Because it's PG, tushy. Okay? But regardless of regardless of your product, your business, your industry, if you don't walk the path that your product will go, then you won't know the flow. That's inevitable, that's necessary. And while you're doing it, you've got to be able to ask the hard questions. Listen, when you get into business with people, they're not your friends. They're your partners in business. And you got to ask that hard question. I'm sorry, Frank, you're going to be able to deliver that by when? Don't worry about it, I got it. Red flag. Red flag. Frank, love you like a brother.
Are you going to be able to deliver that?
I I need guarantees, Frank. So, is that different than here? And so this myth about what international business and trade is, I think it's actually a propaganda game by those who don't want us to break into that 95% marketplace. As long as they control it, they control it. And I've had many colleagues and folks that I've spoken to who said that they were offered more opportunities to buy them out of business than to allow them to succeed. I was like, huh? You're shaking your head. I'm going, what do you mean? So they created this perfect mousetrap that caught cats. On purpose. And somebody said, yo, that's going nowhere, but I'll give you $10,000 for your business. Ooh. Sometimes your ideas are really beyond the thinking of the folks. And yet, because we're kind of left in this shroud, this cloud, we don't really think that it has survivability. And it does. Some tweaking, little red paint on it, whatever the case you got to do. And then you step into that marketplace, you walk the pathway, you shake hands with this vendor, you talk to that person. And I went for the sole purpose of creating import-export of silk, because the city of Patterson used to be one of the leading silk cities. So I wanted to revitalize that. It is a no-brainer. If we get silk going on, the headlines itself will be phenomenal. So I thought. Okay. So we go, delegation of 7, 8 of us. We're moving and grooving, we getting in. I mean, we're treated like royalty. Let me tell you, we land, we got police escort, we just chilling, riding around. Actually, 2 people said that. That Obama? I like Obama Jones. So we're riding around this delegation, police escort, and all this other stuff. But the serious side, we meet with the Chamber of Commerce. We're invited to the university campus. We meet the gentleman who owns SK, the largest diamond industry in India. We're told that Prime Minister Modi is going to be the Prime Minister. We got inside information. We're at the bottom we're in our hotel, and every day we go down there, there are 10 to 15 new people we have never met trying to do business with us. I wasn't prepared for it. I was focused for silk and soap. Those are my 2 goals. Everything else, secondary. And so, Orlando, to your point, sometimes opportunity doesn't come packaged the way you want it. It just comes. You got to be ready for it. So we're going through all this every morning. I mean, how do I say this? I get up, I go downstairs. I'm in my khaki 2-piece, trying not to stand out, but I'm 6'2", and I'm dark.
So you already
I'm just saying. Wait. And they had already announced that we were coming on media and everything else. When we got to the train, we were on the manifesto, and nobody else was allowed on that train. So I'm a little concerned already. It's not nice. Now all this is international. You see the cultural stuff that's happening? So we get there, we do all this. I come downstairs in the morning, and one of the folks we went with, Ajay, who's from India, scoots me away. And now I'm kind of like, well, what's going on? We're part of the delegation. I represent a city, but I'm also an American citizen. I kind of understand there's some things I got to be careful of. But okay, I'm trusting you. Where are we going? He takes me, and we go with a driver, and we go to all these silk factories. And I'm a bit surprised, because shock and surprise overwhelming. See, what I wanted was right there. I wasn't ready for it. Folks were doing silk, but not in my mindset. US, big machines, long lines of silk being. I wonder what happened. They were doing it the way they do it. And I had to go, whoa, step back, Jones, take a look at this. We didn't consummate any deals. First of all, I couldn't because as a mayor, I'm not allowed to develop the deal. I have to bring it back to the city council, I have to sell it, I have to use it, make sure our legal saw it, I have to do all that kind of stuff. But it was in the exchange of this exploration that I realized you've got to change your mindset if you're going to do world business. And then every place we went, we were then, I mean, it was endless. There were a new group of people joining us almost every day. And that was opportunity. We went with a team. Should I have taken a bigger team? Probably, but I didn't know. And then again, being in government, I was handicapped. There was limits to what I could do. Okay? So, my little trip was a trip.
Wasn't so little of a trip.
Right. There was nothing little about it. And here's what blew my mind. Does anybody know the population of India? Okay. Try 1 billion and up. So, what? I'm the mayor of a city of 150,000. How many people? How am I going to do this? So, and as you can see, hopefully you can tell, I'm a planner by trade. I process stuff. I like to know the start, the beginning, the middle, the end. I like to know the failure. I like to know all that. But I was overwhelmed. And we did video. We did all that stuff. We did interviews. I was sending back daily interviews. That was what my commitment to the city. I'm not here playing games. I'm here working. So, the long and short is, we made no deals. Yes?
What was the lesson learned of that experience?
You gotta go 50-50. Half of it is your plan, intended, sculpted. The other half is whatever comes. It's a 50-50 deal. Yes.
How was the manufacturing occurring? Was it individual doing this?
It varied. From the solar panels, production, and they had state-of-the-art technology in places, parts, because when we left Gujarat, Surat, and we went to other villages, walking to this, what didn't appear to be a modern facility, was modern. I mean, just printing up the solar skins and the panels, and I'm like, wow, okay. But my mind kept going back to the silk. They had the yarn, spools up, going on. But the guys were in a kneel position, bundling and doing some things. So, okay, Jeff Jones, guess what? That ain't got nothing to do with this purpose. It is getting the silk, getting the best possible deal, figuring out how to get it shipped, and then going back to Patterson, talking to vendors, potential business enterprises, and saying, hey, listen, here's an opportunity. From ties, shirts, scarves, whatever it is, we have this relationship. We have this potential connection. And our marketing was, Silk City returns to Silk Road. That was it. That's tight, right? You like it. She's like, I see it. I see it. I see it.
Did you bring some business people with you, Jeff?
Yes.
Other than Fernando. I know Fernando. Fernando probably got about 10 deals you don't know about.
Yeah. Well, actually,
He did say that.
I'm glad you reminded me. Actually, what came about was we're about to build a hotel. And the hotel we had invested time and effort in was on our Great Falls. And it was a hotel with the investor. But that's where some of the realities came in too. That there was a lot of fierceness and competition internally amongst the folks who want to get that advantage. And of course, I can't negotiate with you. I understand my limits. I can't negotiate with, first of all, the entirety of all these folks. I can't do it. We were at the airport, and the man was giving me drawers, underwear. He came, he gave us all packages of underwear. Nice! I mean, spandex. I mean, nice! I'm like, whoa. And they were manufactured in Dubai. Yeah. And I'm going, I use a word. I was like, shit. if only, ooh. And then when I came back, you know, we did our reporting, we talked about it, and we were clear, the team, the group of ours, it was a couple people from my team, my staff, Fernando, so we went there, and we did our part. We came back with our minds. Part of the cultural part was a shift. The other part was business, and understanding more importantly that what happens in Spain, in Greece, and France, Turkey, and Italy does have nothing to do with what happens in India. And Northern India, Southern India, do things different. And so unless you do some taste testing and figure it out, you're in for a rude awakening. And it could jar you to the point where you could lose your momentum. And that's why you plan. So, okay, I'm almost off track and I'm almost done. Sorry. So the end game for what is international business and how to avoid the risks is marketing. You've got to market. Can I say it again?
And
market. And then market. Why? Why? That's a question. You know, like the commercial says, Wi-Fi. No, it's not a question. Why marketing? Well, at some point in time, your ask is going to reach their deliverables. And their deliverables is going to reach your ask and vice versa. And by marketing, what do they need? What do they want? You're going to be able to sift through, and get to the core of what really allows you to do business. Else, you're just trying to get to know each other. And you can spend a lot of time doing that. And that's good. But that's not business. The business is, how do we get to the point where we're actually sharing, and I'm getting mine, you're getting yours. And marketing helps you get there. And by marketing, yes, I cannot teach you marketing. That's not my strength.
So Jeff, you think, I learned this going to China, but we had some private business people that did do some private deals.
Yes.
And one company was acquired in Urban, made it
Okay.
Chinese group. So one of the things that I find with people that don't know you and you don't know them, there is a period of time that you got to invest to establish credibility.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if you don't,
Yeah.
they don't do business like us. We meet you, you got what I want, we just trade.
Right.
They got to get to know you, and they figure you out by spending time and developing
That
trust.
trust.
Right.
Yeah.
Segue! Bam! Thank you very much.
The proof is in the pudding.
And so the mayor's point was realized, and we've heard it. We've entertained 10, 13 delegations. As mayor, I entertained at least double that, I guess, in City Hall. And we signed an agreement with a group from China. And there's a 3-step process. So this is the cultural part. This is also the business part. They will tell you, and if you go to the embassy, or I get at the embassy, you meet with the ambassadors or whoever else is available to talk to you, they will tell you directly, maybe not, the protocols. China comes here, we sit, we talk, we meet, we dine. You got to go there.
You said you
Sit.
talking meeting time.
That's how I ended up here.
And then and only then is a contract or an agreement on the table. You can do all this other stuff here, parading them around, showing them this, the happy dance feed, taking all the pictures you want to. You can do that. And they'll take you there. But they've got to know you, they got to trust you, they got to feel some kind of way. And still, you got to be reserved in terms of your business style, because guess what? Rules change. So, yes, question. Okay.
What of that, the adage that says that business is risky? So does it apply this way now?
Well, why is business risky? Let's talk about that. Why is business risky?
There's no guarantee that you're going to make a profit.
I didn't hear you, Mr. Smith.
Oh, I'm sorry, there's no guarantee.
And I would
Like an
say,
insurance policy that you're going to make a profit.
right, there's a guarantee you're going to die. That part's a guarantee. But I just don't keep it real. But business is risky because if you fail to plan, you can plan to fail. That's really what makes business risky. If you knew you should have done, you went from alphabet A to K, and you left L and the rest of them off the table, you're going to fall into that hole, and all those alphabets going to be in there with you. If you've at least walked through them all, you don't have to take a whole lot of, deep cognitive action on it, but you have to at least explore the potentials. And again, as a small business owner, that's overwhelming. I get it. Well, when am I going to have time to do this if I'm trying to sell this product? How am I going to do this? I got to do that. I got staff. How am I going to do that? Right.
Figure it out.
Right.
Yeah. It's
Right.
part of preparation.
Right. And that's where a lot of businesses go awry before they even get started. First thing you want to do is go buy the service. Oh, you're a consultant? Here's $5,000. Make me rich. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to happen. Yeah. If you don't know enough about what you're trying to buy, to have a conversation with him and understand what he or she's going to deliver to you, you probably just got ripped off. I mean, that's just... Now, do you have to be the expert? No. But you've got to have a good sense as to your business, that you know without question. But what is his or her value to help your business grow? That's the risk. And here's the strangest thing about the risk. You can make money. They will give you the carrot initially. That's to whet your appetite. Those who are trying to do whatever they're going to do, they'll give you a little pocket cash to have you excited. And if you bite that one, you just fail. You fell hard. You need to walk the process to ensure that when you go back to wherever your state of origin is, that things don't fold and collapse when you're not there. Because that's where your money is. And you can't get that all the time and energy and your materials. That's the risk. The risk is being too comfortable or too fed up that things are too slow. Okay? And then my last and final piece is well, Google was very nice to me. Google's like my GPS system. My car's GPS has an attitude. I talk to my GPS, and it talks back to me. You just stupid. I told you to turn right again. That's what she said. Oh yeah, I got one. She just tells you. I told you to turn right.
Deer kind of thing?
Huh?
Deer kind of
Yeah,
thing?
listen. All I know is when we ride, sometimes we don't even talk to each other.
It's a Tyler Perry GPS.
Oh.
So this predicting your research, half of this battle, just like with CTIP and we're at in terms of the school today, we're predicting that the information that we have is of value to someone. We've predicted that. And we've been able to determine that by certain predictors. The current president, 45, who remained nameless, but his number is 45, did in fact say public-private partnership, infrastructure, trade and investment. That's all I need to hear. He did, through his administration, espouse that those are cornerstones of what he'd like to get accomplished. Regardless of whether he gets it done or not, it's not my concern. The fact is he expressed it, other folks heard it, and businesses are trying to do it. So, your predictions, and I'm going to close with this. I use a tool, and by the way, I'm TQM, I used to be ISO 9000 certified and done. Yeah, that's a long time ago. That was a life ago. We used to do this thing called total quality management. That's when you check your every step, your every move, everybody in the company does, and we try to figure out how we don't waste time, how we ensure that the integrity of the work we're doing has value. ISO 9000 is similar to the ISO 900, but this was back when I worked for IBM. This is in the 80s. And it was about process again. It's about superior processing. Okay? Not superior so much as the best in the world, but are what you're doing making sense? Mm-hmm. For every press of every key, we try to equate it to $1.01. Every phone call that we would answer, is it a new contract? That's what we try to do. but this is my all-time favorite. That's my tool. My strengths are my strengths. My weaknesses, which I might not want to disclose, but they're debilitating enough that I know my weaknesses are. As much as I do research, when I get to a certain point, I'm done. I need to be able to have somebody I pass it along to, and they do the details. My public speaking is phenomenal.
Yes.
My weakness is, I'll bring every story I ever had to the conversation. And you'll be like, hey, no.
Not today.
Thank you. My opportunities, nobody fell asleep. And people ask questions, which tells me that my strengths are still engaged. My threat is perhaps in all my zeal, I didn't give everybody a chance to speak to or ask the questions they needed to ask. SWOT analysis is a professional tool that corporations, and they used to pay me for it, to help people move through a process. Use a SWOT to determine if your plans make sense to you. And it's a very honest process, because it's just you. You got to be so honest with yourself. What's my strength? So if you have a restaurant and you can't cook, you better say, I can't cook.
Irish chef.
And so, right. But my strength is, I can tell a good cook when I find one. Right? My weakness is, I don't get up till 2 o'clock. But my restaurant sign says open from 9 to 5. I got a problem. So SWOT, I love it. You can process you can process your organization, you can process a new market, you can process everything if you're honest. And in business, if you're not honest with you first, you just lost the cause.
Candid conversation.
Right? Because I felt we was like this when you was talking. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you thought I was going to come up here and tell you some special, unique, bona fide, absolute guaranteed ways to turn $1 into $20,000, I ain't the one. I'm not the one. I've been doing it myself. What I can tell you is, and what I can share with you, and I can support you in this. If you've got the desire to do trade, exchange, regardless if it's a restaurant, it's a nonprofit, it's commercial real estate, or it's creating a network, then you are leap years ahead of everybody else sitting back figuring out what they want to do. The only thing missing is the plan and how you create that plan. And the first thing I would recommend you do is make sure you have a supportive team. People who believe in you. Make sense? Because it's going to be tough selling the rest of the world on your unique idea and your unique person. They don't care. You make millions, they care. Okay?
But if you're trying to go global, you need to know the tools that they're using in that country. All right? So, for example, if you are going for Dubai and trying to get your site or something, access the market there, you need to make sure that your website is accessible on the search engine. So it will be google.ae, for example. So that when they do search you, you'll show up in Dubai, not just here. A lot of people have social networks with thousands of people on it, and they're not interacting with any of them. So what's the point, right? To say, and I like to say that I have a group at Merrill Lynch when I asked the question to the group there, and the client goes, well, you know, it does matter if you have 10,000 followers compared to 20. And I said, you know what? It doesn't matter if you have 10,000 or 100,000 if you're not interacting with them. If you don't know who those people are, if you're not using them to test your market, then it's pointless. And if you're trying to reach a China group, Facebook is not going to be the one for you. You want to use a tool that's Weibo, that's local there. So that's when it comes to marketing and going internationally. You need to consult with your network, see who's local in that area, which application are they using, that all the young kids are using, if that's the market you're trying to reach. Okay?
Because, and as I take my seat, every highway, every byway has a building that has a front door. And now we're seeing a lot of signs that says closed. And they ain't just talking about for the day. Many of them took a snapshot of the marketplace they wanted to invest in. And that's right, they took a snapshot. But you know, like pictures, 30 seconds after you take that snapshot, you probably missed the best moment. Take your time. Not a lifetime, but take your time. Explore. Walk the path that you want to go. SWOT, to me, and I'm just saying me, I'm not trying to sell you one, but if you type in SWOT on your search engine, it's going to tell you how to do a SWOT. Once you begin to explore your strengths, your weaknesses, your desires, your frailties, now you've got the best plan. This is what I need to have. Okay? And then of course then you got to apply a SWOT to that person. Because you need to make sure that what they say they can do, they can deliver as well. Now, it's all, in the direction you need to go. Good luck. Get ready for some bumps, some bruises, but stay the course. And if you run into that proverbial wall that is immovable, don't look at it as, end of game. Take a look at it and say, wait a minute. If I put some paint on this wall and some flowers and take some, that may be an opportunity. And that's where I think we come short of. We tend to run into things and assume it's the stop, and it's not. It's the poise, pose, think, refocus, and be clear. And if you do that, the wisdom comes, I'm either going to go like this and move forward, or I'm going to go like this and move forward, or I'm going to climb on top. Don't let it be end of game.
That's the flexibility part.
That's your drive. That's your ambition.
It's not no, it's not yet.
I use the analogy of crossing the street. So you're crossing the street and then there's a truck and it just happens to stop right there. What do? Do you decide, oh, now I can't cross the street, I'm just going to stay here? Or do you just go around?
I call it my 10% rule since we're talking about it. So I got this 10% rule. My 10% bump. If I can do that, it ain't an obstacle. If I got to do that, okay now, wait a minute. I got to check it out. But guess what? You have to determine what is the height by which you will no longer try to move forward. And in business, that's what we do. We sometimes find out too late that we've walked down the wrong dark path, and it's too late. And then many people just go, I'm done. But you know what? There's a lot of good information. There's a lot of good planning that went into this path. You may have just misread the instructions that said make a left turn when you made a right. That doesn't mean your business is over. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Yeah.